All right, hi guys, going to get started then. So I'm Sabrina Gosney, I'm the Microsoft Alliance Manager here at Ultima, and I've recently been over to Vegas to Microsoft's partner event, and I'm just going to go through with you what that partner event is, and obviously some of the key highlights that have come out of that we wanted to share. So Inspire is Microsoft's commercial partner event that they hold every year. It's a chance for partners such as Ultima to learn about what Microsoft deemed their financial year overviews were from the last FY and what their strategy is going forward. It's also a good chance for us to network with other partners, see how obviously they're doing as well as other vendors as well, to what options and solutions they're bringing out to complement the Microsoft service and lifecycle. We heard from Satya, the CEO, and most of his senior management team on their views of partnerships and all the different strategies and innovations they're going to bring out for the next FY. And as well as that, there's a convention centre at this event as well, where we get to see hundreds of stands of different vendors. So it's a good chance for us to go and learn for a week, network, and how we're going to bring that back into Ultima's solutions that we put together for you guys. So I will be sending out these slides, but this is Microsoft's vision for the upcoming year. There was a lot of bits that they touched on, mainly Teams being obviously a massive one, which I will go through in more depth. GitHub as well, so if you've got any developers within your organization, Microsoft acquired GitHub October last year, I believe it was, and it's just starting to come through in some of obviously the work that they're doing. And so that's obviously a big focus area for them. Other aspects to call out, the AI capabilities is just going to keep getting bigger this year, as well as the business intelligence side of things. Teams, as I've obviously already mentioned, and then about like limitless data, HoloLens, all those kind of new technologies that can really change how we do things day to day and in our businesses. So one of the areas that I wanted to talk to you about that's changing, that's going to obviously affect you as customers, is a new Microsoft customer agreement. So whenever you've had to sign obviously to different programs in the past, you've had different sets of terms for different programs. And obviously every time you wanted potentially a new license that needed a new program, you'd have to go through that whole process again with your legal departments. So Microsoft has decided to bring out what they're calling the Microsoft Customer Agreement. And this is going to be one agreement to replace all agreements in terms of terms. So it'd be split out that you obviously have your normal core terms from Microsoft, and then there'd be like segments, so location based, so that you're obviously applied the law that's in your region, segment terms, so obviously if you're like FSI or academic, there'd be a little section in there for you, and then the product term bits that all get bundled in. And basically how that it's going to work is when there's an update or anything, instead of signing new terms, there's just going to be this evergreen type approach where you would just get a notification of the updates and then you accept those updates as and when they come out. So just to make it a bit more visual to what Microsoft's strategy is the legacy programs that we know and love at the moment, so our Opens, MPSAs, enterprise agreements, they've all got different sets of terms as they are right now. Customers will enter into this new Microsoft customer agreement, and that will underpin all programs going forward. There's then going to be 3 ways to buy. So you're going to have the partner-led motion, which is CSP. There'll be a self-serve motion, which is obviously the web direct version. And then there's going to be this field-led motion, which is going to be where the enterprise agreements predominantly are. And then this new motion that Microsoft are doing, it's more on a monthly basis, very similar to CSP, but directly with Microsoft. So they're going to allow customers to give you the choice to what program works best for you. And it might be that elements of certain programs work best for you on certain products. So it's going to give the flexibility back to the customer where it should be, to which program works best for you. And it's great to call out that partner assistance is in all of this. So Ultima will be able to help you regardless of which way you choose to buy. You'll be able to leverage our services and support for different areas. So it's not Microsoft obviously taking everything direct. It is more how we can better look after our customers and help with the consumption and the usage of things rather than just getting bogged down with the actual license itself. So next I wanted to go into what's coming in CSP. So there was lots of CSP discussions at Inspire. Obviously it's Microsoft's big partner-led motion and they're putting a lot of investment into there because they want customers to have the whole life cycle in one place. So not only would Ultima be managing obviously your licensing side, but we would be managing the support side and all the value add that goes around that. So a couple of bits that were called out at the event, there was the Azure Lighthouse. So I got very overexcited about this when I was there, and unfortunately when I got back and understood the technical side of it, I was less so excited. So this is a new pane of glass for managed service providers where regardless of how you've purchased your licensing, if it's WebDirect, EA, CSP, it will be able to pull forward into this single pane of glass so that Ultima would be able to support you better. Basically, we would both get views into the same entry point. There would be logs, so you can see what each other are doing. You can give access to just certain elements of subscriptions. So on the whole of it, it seems a very good platform. The problem is where it's so new, to actually put this together, it's very technical from both a customer point and an Ultima point, and we're going to need lots of PowerShell scripts and all these kind of things. So Ultima are actually already in the process of building something very similar, and when this gets a little bit more mature, it will all be integrated in. So we keep you up to date with how we're obviously going with that process, but yeah, it is exciting and it will be obviously exciting when it just gets a bit more mature. But I wanted to call it out because it was, as I said, I was very overexcited about it when I was there. It was a big call out thing, but yeah, technically not quite there yet. One other thing that's coming out as well is going to be this Azure cost management. So this is coming in October. So as it stands right now, EA customers already have this feature in their admin portal. So it shows them rough usage and gives them recommendations on if they should be using reserved instances and hybrid use rights. So this feature is now going to be available to CSP customers as of October as well. So there isn't going to be this this barrier to, depending on which program you're buying on, you're going to get the same kind of support and information as an enterprise level customer would as well. Obviously, if you're under CSP with Ultima, you would now, and signed up to the new platform, you'll have access to our new management portal on Azure as well, which will give you your consumption costs, and there'll be lots of value-added services that get wrapped around that to try and help you with your optimization and consumption of Azure. So continuing on with the CSP message, there's a new Azure offer that's coming out in October as well. So basically how it works at the moment is enterprise agreements and WebDirect are linked to a dollar FX rate that can obviously fluctuate on a monthly basis. CSP has always been done slightly differently. It's done on an intercompany rate that Microsoft set at the beginning of the year. So depending on what happens with the dollar rate over the year, CSP can sometimes be more expensive. And if you've heard of all these obviously massive price increases that we had a couple of years ago, that was when the programs got so out of sync that they had to align those pricing back into place. So going forward, there's going to be this new offer where CSP and EA will be on exactly the same platform, on the same billing rate, and it should make pricing obviously a lot more static across the programs. This is how AWS price their agreements as well on the FX. So all of our competitors as well should be in line with how the Azure pricing is working. One other thing to call out on this, it also means there's not going to be any difference between the functionality that you can get from, say, an enterprise agreement to CSP. At the moment, there's a lot of third-party offerings that aren't available to our CSP customers, but this is going to eliminate that, and basically anything you can do through the Azure marketplace and admin portal on an EA customer will be exactly the same experience for a CSP customer. Another exciting news, so we're hoping this is going to come probably April 2020. Microsoft are going to extend their software subscription, into CSP. So as you heard a bit a few slides ago, obviously, where Microsoft are trying to streamline their process in terms of programs. When we start seeing those programs go end of life, so open and PSA, there needs to be another way for you guys to be able to buy your on-premise products. So at the moment, obviously, CSP is very cloud orientated. That got changed with adding of Windows Server and SQL Server. That was more so for the hybrid use benefits in Azure. They do have on-premise rights as well. But we will start seeing more products being added to the portfolio, including software assurance, or they're calling it modern software assurance. So we don't know what that's going to look like yet, and obviously when we receive more information on that, we will update you. But that's going to be the start really of the other programs starting to see end of life dates on them. Another thing that we're expecting to be released in that kind of timeline is the 3-year price lock-in. So we will, at the moment, as you will know, on CSP, online subscriptions are price locked for 12 months. This is going to give us the opportunity to price lock them in for 3 years. I would have thought there's going to be some kind of potentially upfront commitment, annual payments, all that kind of thing go into there. We don't have the details of that. We just know that it's obviously on the roadmap. So again, when we hear more about that, we'll let you know. And another thing that will come in that timeline as well, is from SA and step-ups, which currently don't exist in CSP. So it is going to become a program where we can move you from other on-premise products and keep the on-premise products you want to use, and it can all be done in the CSP manner where we're managing it and supporting you, and obviously that value add around it. So another thing that was called out at Inspire a lot was the learning side of things, and how there is a massive shortage of tech industry staff. And I mean, we've experienced it as well at Ultima. Trying to get people into certain roles is an absolute nightmare, especially in this area. So they were very pushing this whole new Microsoft Learn portal, which is available to you guys as well. It's a platform for Microsoft partners and customers. And it goes through role-based learning, and there's different levels, and obviously you can pay to take exams, but you don't have to. So if you just want to go through the learning, it's all free of charge. So this is all available to you to go through. There's Azure on there, Dynamics, and obviously M365, and we'll see this continuously evolve. In the next couple of months, you'll hear about a new enablement platform that Ultima are going to launch, and that'll go through training on different aspects of Office 365 as well, and that will be coming to CSP and a standalone product, so we'll be able to make sure that you're able to give your staff the training they need to use all of these new technologies that are coming out for them. As I mentioned before, Teams was the call out thing. It was basically included in nearly every session that I attended. So you're going to hear more and more about Teams as this goes on in the year. One thing that I do want to say is about Skype for Business Online. So I don't know if any of you guys get my newsletter, but Skype for Business Online is basically not available to buy as a standalone subscription any longer. And Microsoft are obviously getting people to transition over to Teams. We're in that boat as well. So Ultima will be transitioning to Teams in the next couple of months. And if any of you guys need any, obviously, assistance with that, please do let us know. We've got the expertise in-house to help you. And we're able to show you the benefits of Teams. We can run through workshops and all that kind of thing. So please do let us know if you need any help on that and where you are of your journey. And as I mentioned, that enablement platform is going to be able to go through training for Teams for your users. So we'll be able to make sure that you're obviously adopting these services and getting your users to embrace it as well. So keeping on the motion of Teams, Microsoft were very proud to confirm that they've got 13 million global active daily users on their platform. And in the UK, that works out about 2 million. So still obviously loads to go, but Microsoft have set a very high goal for themselves in the UK of 225% year-on-year growth. So obviously anything that we can do to help with that is greatly appreciated. And keeping with that theme, Microsoft have released a trial for Teams. So it's under CSP. You get a 6-month trial. It's up to 1,000 users. And then obviously, if you want to start paying for that service, it will be able to integrate it in. If you've already got any Office 365 suites such as E3, E1, you would already have Teams. So it just might be a function that you're not using. And again, speak to us about that. We will be able to help you and embrace that. But anybody that doesn't have that, especially if you've only got like Exchange Online, for example, maybe you should dip your toe in the water with this trial to see if it's right for you. So these are my key takeaways. Obviously, I've spoken quite a lot about Teams. So obviously, you know, to what you're doing with that, how we can help you along that journey. And if obviously you've never even seen Teams, obviously let us know. It's something that we use internally as well. So any of our guys should be able to show you that. The Microsoft customer agreement, obviously just wanted to put that on your radar because you will start hearing about it from Microsoft. So just to let you know, obviously it is the new terms of Microsoft between you and Microsoft, regardless of what program you're going on to. Anybody that's moving across to our new CSP platform, the Microsoft customer agreement terms are within the Ultima terms. So you're already getting visibility of that. And any questions on that, please do let us know. We've got links back into Microsoft, but hopefully it's going to simplify how your legal departments have to handle the terms of Microsoft. Obviously CSP and all the improvements that come in there. We've got the new Ultima platform. If you haven't heard about it or you're interested in CSP, please do reach out to our licensing team and they will be able to go through that with you. But from the updates that I gave today, we're finally seeing Azure Align in the programs, which is obviously going to be great in terms of giving you the choice as a customer to which platform you want to run on, not dependent on which platform you can actually do certain things on. It's just giving all the power back to yourselves and seeing the reporting coming in line as well. Microsoft Learn, so I will obviously send out these slides and the link to Learn, but obviously upskilling your staff, upskilling our staff, and Microsoft sellers as well. Always room for improvements in all areas. And as I said, it's now role-based, so you're able to choose obviously the role that fits you best and go along the path that's been set for you. And as I mentioned, we're going to have a learning platform as well, so we'll give you more information about that when that comes out. And then GitHub, so if you've got any internal developers, they probably already know what GitHub is, and it is actually available to purchase on enterprise agreements if you have an EA. So if that is of interest to you, please do get in touch with your licensing team and they will be able to give you a costing for your enterprise agreement. So that was all I had on the Inspire story. Obviously, I did a blog as well if anybody wants to obviously go to the Ultimate pages and see that. If you've got any questions, I will hang around for a bit and answer any questions. If not, please do reach out to your licensing team, your account managers, and obviously if there is anything we can help you on Microsoft, we will be glad to do so. Thank you very much for your time and have a great day. Thanks.